Welcome to the Midnight Gourmet. Tonight we're going to have something extra special for you. We've got some flounder where we're going to prepare fillet sole almond bean. Now obviously this right here is not sole, so we're going to improvise, and we got this flounder here. Some things I wanted to show you on purchasing fish at the store. You want to make sure that you got good fresh product. That's very important. Some of the things you want to look at is the smell. It smells fresh. You always want to get fish that smells very clean. You want to look at the eyes and make sure the eyes are clear. Now on this fish, obviously you can barely see the eyeballs, but normally when you look at the fish, it's normally you want to have very clear eyeballs. You don't want to see any kind of infection on the fish. If you look around on this fish is in pretty good health. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to remove my jacket, and then we're going to start preparing this fish. Okay, remember it's about to steal. Sharpen up my knives. Okay, let's see what we're going to do with this fish. First of all, we're going to remove the fins. The fins are right around the side. Now we also want to keep all of this, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with all this in a few minutes. Okay, we're going to remove the head. And normally when I cut, I want to cut, if you notice the head, I'm going to cut in a triangle with a real natural cut. Okay. Don't throw this away, because we don't use this. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down the center cavity. This is where the heart pieces and the fillets are. Sharpen up the knife again. And we're going to go right down the center. Now there's a bone right down here in the middle. And flounder, like some fish, you have the fillets on both sides of the bone. So you got a bone going right down the middle of the fish. Now, if you notice my cut, it's right down here in the center. That's where the meat is. Okay. Now, by taking your first finger, pulling the meat back, I'm going to take something like a small boning knife and follow the bone. Now you're going to notice the bone. Keep cutting and just let the knife be led by the bone. Can you see that? Real nice, clean cuts. You don't have to force it. Now, if you notice the way I'm using my knife, real nice curve. Follow the bone so you can get all that meat that's down there. Now this can save you a lot of money. A lot of people, when they go to the grocery store, I'm really surprised that a lot of people don't bone their own fish. The reason why I'm saying boning your own fish, you can save a lot of money. Because of the bones, the head, the fins, we're gonna make a stock with that. And that can save you a lot of money. You can make a lot of, for example, soups. Some of the popular fish soups are basically made with fish bones. So that's the reason why it's good to hold on to the bones. Normally on flounder, you don't get a whole lot of meat. And that's the reason why you try to save it. You try to get as closest to that bone that you possibly can. Notice how that look there? Nice fillet from the back. Okay. Now we're gonna do the other side. Same thing. Nice, stay close to the bone. Now most of the time on some of these fish you will have more flesh on one side than the other. Like on this side you're going to have more flesh on than the right side or the left side. Now I will always emphasize, make sure you have a real nice sharp knife, because it won't come out as clean if you don't have a sharp knife. Sometimes it's worth the investment to go and buy a sharp knife. A sharp knife is more efficient, and you don't throw away a lot of the product, especially when you start cutting. Looks real nice and clean, just like from the grocery store. Okay, we're gonna do the same, the back side, basically the same way. Right down the center. Now the back normally doesn't have a lot of meat, but it's something there. Depending on how big the flounder is. Okay. Stand close to the bone. Watch your fingers. Letting the knife real gently down the back of that backbone there. Okay. Almost there. We got one more side to go. Now I'm going to bring this across the steel just a little bit to bring that edge out a little bit. Now if you don't have a steel at home, I will always advise that you do get a steel. That helps keep the edge on your blade, especially if you plan on doing a lot of preparing of meats. But you want to bone yourself like the fish. That's what I'm boning right now. Okay, real clean. That's the back side. And then we've got the last piece here, which would be the left or the right, depending on which way you're going. Okay. Same way, stay close to that bone. I hope you can get a good shot at that with the camera. And we're almost finished here. We just filleted the fish. Okay, I'm going to switch knives because I need a heavier knife here. Now you see we've got 4 fillets, which we've boned. And now, as I was sharing with you as far as the stock is concerned, I've got the head, pieces of the fins, and we're going to make a little stock here. Now normally a stock pot will consist of, especially something like this. This is going to be what you would call a white stock. Onions, celery, and some seasonings. Seasonings like black pepper, salt. If you got peppercorns, that's even better. And we're going to put some water in here. I would say probably about a half a pot. I'm going to cover this with water, especially the bones. You definitely want to cover it with water. Put this on the pot and let it start simmering. I haven't put the vegetables in there yet, but I am going to do that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just put some shape to these fillets a little bit here. Clean them up a little bit. Some of them have some excess skin you can remove. Sort of look real nice, especially when we put it on the plate. Okay, now there's many times I've seen where you can actually remove the back skin, but because this is a small piece of, the flounder is a small, I would say it's probably about 4.5 pounds, so you really don't have a lot of meat, so we're going to leave the skin on there, especially for sauteing. Matter of fact, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to cut it in half because some of these pieces are pretty large. Now I cut them in a slant so they'll look nice on our plate. Now we're going to the good part. What you're going to need is some lemons. I've got some toasted almonds and some flour. Get us a few pans. Okay, salt and pepper. Normally I like to season my fish. Some people put it in the seasonings. I like to put it right on the fish. Little salt and pepper. If you want to use white pepper, that's fine. I prefer to use black. Okay, a little salt. Now, as I was saying again, some people prefer to put it right into your flour, but I like to put it right on the fish. Sometimes you lose it when you put it into the flour, but if you put it right on the fish, it's going to be there and you're going to be able to taste it right away. Now, as I was sharing with you before, we are going to leave the skin on because we don't have a lot of flesh. Okay. Now we've got our flour. We're going to dredge each one of our pieces of flour. I'm going to get a plate. Dredge the flour. Yeah, I'm sorry, dredge it. Lay it right into the flour. This dish should come out really good. Really good. It's one of my favorites. If you have somebody over, make sure you prepare this. Real simple dish, you don't need a whole lot. As a matter of fact, it's not that fatty, really, because you're not really putting it in a batter. So I think you'll really enjoy this meal. Okay, we've got a couple more pieces here. We want flour. And I've got some drawn butter. If you're not sure what drawn butter is just clarified butter. Take a solid piece of butter, melt it down, and the milk solids will settle on the bottom. But you got to let the butter set. So you melt the butter down, let the butter set, and remove your drawn butter, and that's what we're going to use to saute this fillets with. Can't get my words out. Okay, now, clean my hands off here. You want to make sure that the fillets are brown on both sides. Now in this pan we probably have, I would say probably a quarter of this pan of the drawn butter. And I've also, you can use some shortening if you have shortening or some kind of fat. You can even use olive oil. If you got olive oil in the house, you can use olive oil and butter. So it's about equal parts of each. And it looks like it's starting to turn brown. So we're going to flip them over on each side. A bit brown, just a little bit. I want them nice and brown because that's where the, believe it or not, that browning is actually the sugar on a piece of that fish. And you want to get that flavor. When you get that little brown, crispy flavor coming on here, it's actually starting to brown that sugar. Or should I say, starting to brown the carbohydrates. Okay. Good. Okay. See that? Looks real nice. Now, we got our fish, real nice looking color. We're going to prepare our vegetables, which are going to be broccoli. Now, anytime you want to prepare broccoli, to keep that green color, you want to start off with hot boiling water. If you want a really good flavor, one of the biggest secrets that restaurants and chefs have is that they always salt the water. They put the salt right into the water instead of salting the vegetables, because that seasoned water will go right through the vegetables. So we got some boiling water over here. We're going to drop our broccoli right in there, and the water has already been seasoned. Now we're going to make some nice thick cuts so they will be like a little tree. Okay, drop those right off into the boiling water. And you don't want to overcook your vegetables. You lose a lot of the nutrients when you overcook your vegetables. And normally anytime that you're preparing vegetables, especially if they're green like broccoli, asparagus, you want to make sure it's covered. Okay, we're going to prepare our sauce. We're going to use probably about, a quarter pound of butter. You have some toasted almonds, which we already have, and we have some lemons. Okay. This is our lemon butter. Toasted almonds. We're also going to use some chopped parsley. some parsley here. That'll probably be enough of that. Try to get it as fine. You don't want too many big leaves in there. Just add some little flavor to it. Okay. I think that'll be enough. Okay, got our butter. We're gonna add some almonds, and we're going to add some chopped parsley, and we're going to squeeze some lemons in. Okay. A little bit there. All right. Prepare our fish. Really good sauce. This is a lemon butter sauce. And we're gonna, broccoli is ready. You want to put a little garnish on there. Whoever you might be preparing this for. All right, here it is. Our finished dish. Our fillet of sole, or our fillet of flounder, almondine, nice color on the broccoli, nice color on the fish. We're ready to chow down. Hey, don't forget my next show next week, because we're going to do the same thing, and man, it's going to be good. So don't miss the next week's show. Okay? See you. Welcome to the Midnight Gourmet. Last week we was here, we prepared some turkey. This week we're going to prepare some fish. Here we go. Nice dinner.